Okay, today is December 22nd, 2022. I'm just kidding, 2021. I'm still here. No, okay, so I've got some good weed. I ended up sacrificing a good amount of money that I invested in that Predator Helios 300 laptop. I still have it, but it's gonna take me a little longer to get it. So what I'm using right now is I'm not using Bluetooth, and that should help in one way. But I'm using the face cam, so and you're also I have the microphone use, and I'm not sure exactly how the quality of the sound is going to be because I do have this Gamesir X2 thing already applied onto my phone. So that's on right now. I pressed the buttons twice to turn the blue light to green, clicked OK, made sure I'm up and running in the PUBG app. That's already, got my little tasks and things already clicked off so you don't have to see me go through that. And then I clicked home button while this thing was on, and then I went to the advanced recorder app, and then I started it. So made sure that the face cam thing was already started, and that's how I started this particular video. So that should be a much faster intro. And what I'm wanting to do in this particular video is I noticed that no one has this particular setup. No one has at least a OnePlus 5 Nord N10 5G phone that they're featuring on YouTube. I mean, they got it on there on YouTube, but they don't have that phone, this phone, the 5G phone with a Gamesir X2 modular device attached to it. Now, there's videos out there that feature this Gamesir, this particular 2021 non-Bluetooth version Gamesir X2 device for Androids, but it's on like the top 3 flagship phones right now as of December 2021. I'm talking the Red Magic Nubia Red Magic 6, and I'm thinking it's up there with the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra, and there's also the 5G one, right? It's up there, and then there's also I think the OnePlus 8 Pro, or at least the OnePlus 8T, and the iPhone 13, or the iPhone 12 even. Those are like my honest opinion, the top 4 or 5 best phones right now, and at least I don't have a powerful phone like that, but I am getting great performance so far, and I haven't made a video since my fourth attempt video, but I want to kind of walk through what I'm going to share literally on how I'm going to use my notes that I took from watching my own videos and how I'm going to update my screen and it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to share like how you would use this for yourself if you wanted to play first person perspective, no aim assist, like realistic gameplay like myself, and basically turn your phone into a console and without having to pay for like Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. Right, I'm literally, and even if my Metro PCS like service runs out, which I'm not gonna let that happen, it's only $60, right, a month. Um, but I'm using Wi-Fi, so I don't really need to pay for anything to really get a very fast performance. And with as much practice that I got, and how I'm gonna update my screen right now, because my sensitivity settings are so tinkered and fine-tuned right now, all I need to do is open up my range for my right joystick, and I'm gonna show you guys right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my notes to change a few things and add some buttons. So on the screen, you already see like if I press, um, say X, and I have my let up. There's a Y and X on the Gamesir X2 thing, but the Y and X are like different in placement in terms of what you would see on an Xbox 360 controller or an Xbox One controller or an Xbox controller. The X button is to the immediate left and the Y button is to the immediate up. And so it's switched, but you have the option on the Gamesir to make it emulate the format of an Xbox 360 controller. So I switched it so X right here, if I press X on the controller, you see that little blip to the right of my left hip right there? That's the emulator of the Gamesir. And it's not an emulator. It's there's a red button up top right here. And if I press this, this is the what I it's a completely modifiable screen that you get to use, and it kind of like works almost perfectly in tandem with with what you get here. Now, let me see if I can move that out of the way. Let me get back in here. Oh, it's kind of hard. Let's see. So settings, and then you got controls. Now here's what I'm using. All the way to the right, the left movement, fixed button number 3. This is my setting. I have not used this, but I'm going to use it now because it opens up the entire form of the screen. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do differently than what I was doing before, which I featured in my first, second, third, and fourth attempt videos. So those those four like videos that I had, of albeit not the best product quality, but I was using setting number 1 in controls, which is default, and it's really great because if you look at my setup, it's really like tuned to my liking and how I would even play Metro Royale. But if I exit out of that and I try this right here, what's going to happen is my look around button could now be, instead of just being on the right hand side, it could be the entire like middle of the screen. And I want to show you guys this, but obviously my equipment is not the best in terms of sharing multiple content in a single video. I could show you in this thing, but you'd have to like look and have high quality. I don't want to waste your guys' time with all that. So what I'm just gonna do right now is I'm just gonna go ahead and adjust the things that I need to adjust using this brand new thing, because I think this is default setting, and obviously I need to change it up a bit. So I'm just gonna go through my whole setup on how I'm going to utilize the best of my Gamesir and have like full functionality as if I'm playing on console or even computer, because you can actually create your own buttons and like create your own presses and stuff, like what I'm about to do with my use med and equip frag buttons, and be able to select the different things without having to use my thumbs. That's gonna like save me a little bit of time, and it makes this entire setup like so much more efficient. So I have 97% that use 3% so far. So this is kind of draining my battery. And again, with this particular phone and the Gamesir X2, some other models allow pass-through charging, but I do not get to do that because as soon as I try to charge this thing or charge my phone through the Gamesir X2, it's going to disconnect and cause the green light, which allows the whole thing to work, to go blue, and it will not work after that. So I can't charge my phone, but I'm at 97%. That should be fine. Um, this is going to be interesting, having to use to move that around and move my whole thing, and then utilize the Gamesir menu, because there's like 3 different overlays. This video, the fucking game itself, and then the Gamesir X2. So there's 3 different apps that are like taking place right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and try and get through this as quickly as possible, and I don't really have to look at any other notes except for like for the weapon master. Since I'm really gonna be on this, really, I'm still like when I get to my 5th attempt video, it should be after this video. But I took note of what I really need to do, and I'll just reiterate right now. I need to get 6 different kills in Platinum League. Stay in Platinum, stay Platinum 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stay in that league. And then just that's one of the ingredients to this entire achievement. The Weapon Master achievement requires that you be in Platinum League. And then while you play a regular classic mode, it could be single, duo, or squad. And I run single squad right now because I don't have any teammates or friends right now for that, and that's okay. I am pretty skillful, and you obviously seen my kill rate. I'm pretty damn good. What I need to do for this particular achievement in order to get that emblem shown on my character in the loading lobby is I need to get 6 different kills, and here's the 6. 4 of them come from guns, and the gun types are different. Sniper rifle 1, assault rifle 2, shotgun 3, SMG or submachine gun 4. Then there's 5, which I would consider the throwable, which could be an easily a Molotov or a grenade krill, which is like obviously much better, especially if I cook it. Not throw it and the guy can crawl away and miss the explosion. I did a noob mistake doing that in my last video, so I cooked the grenade. Not I but you don't think about everything. So hey, just practice makes perfect. I'm just showing you guys my performance and how I would increase my own performance in the game, and you'll be like, damn, this guy's getting actually better. And I want to showcase all of this and show you guys like, damn, this guy you can use this yourself to get the achievement too if you like this game, like PUBG Mobile. This Gamesir X2 doesn't really work with War Robots, I noticed. So I'll have to do those videos separately, but it should be a little bit different. But it's not. I'm getting a lot more quality and value out of this Gamesir X2 and PUBG Mobile because of how free it is and how there's not that much matchmaking in the sense that it's really skill based. You have to be fucking tactical, strategic as fuck, stay in cover, in order to get the chicken dinner or kills or get out of a situation on top. Battles and whatnot. It's really awesome, and I like the what where the game is right now and where it's going, and especially even though I'm playing with a handicapper, like an extra challenge to myself because I play first person perspective in third person perspective lobbies or games while I don't use aim assist at all. Like I just want to show you guys like this is how you can do it yourself. And hopefully if you watch from the beginnings, and then you saw this video on how to adjust your settings and stuff with the GameSir X2, then and match it with the PUBG mobile app in-game settings, then here's what you can do for yourself to get the Weapon Master, assuming you want to play like as if you're playing on Xbox or PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or something like that. Because, in my honest opinion, even though it's a scrubbed down, watered down version of the games that you would get on console or PC, it plays just as good, assuming you're on low balance or smooth gameplay and you got a very fast freaking Wi-Fi connection on a decent phone, with at least 6 gigabytes of RAM. This thing is why it's only like $400 total of equipment, and I'm getting a lot of fun and value out of this. So that's 12 minutes. Let me get to the freaking edit. So, but those are the 6 different kills. The last one, sorry, the last kill for the 6 instead of the fifth grenade kill was vehicle kill. So just run someone over twice and make sure you run them over with that vehicle to confirm that. And that was so close. Like in my 4th attempt, I was 4 kills in. All I had to do was use a grenade and then run someone over. And then it wouldn't even matter if I won that game or not. I got the achievement. So that's what I try to say. But with my equipment, I can't record audio through the game or something like that. So that's why I'm using straight microphone right now, and I'm hoping that you're hearing everything while I'm going through the entire setup. So we'll see how this works out. Let me get to it. What I need to do is first look at where, because I don't. Here, let me adjust this first. I need this fat, right? I want that because I noticed that when I use my thumb, that's how big it was. I'm gonna use that like right there. So then I could just leave that, and then there's other things that I could put on. So that's different from how it was because I had it on the right, because usually my thing was a little bit smaller and it was like right here in between all this other stuff. And then I had my little my eyeball thing right around here, so I could just use my thumb to look around while I'm automatic sprinting. So this is going to be a different setup, and I'm going to go ahead and I got to move some of these things around too. I might have to delete them and just recreate or remove them, or remove and recreate these things. But what I want to do is I want to get full functionality of the screen in the center, from this particular joystick, because it's going to add a lot of different kind of sensitivity to my game, and you're going to see like how I do this. So I'm going to let that be right there. In order to just go ahead and save, click out, hit advanced, hit save to accessory. While that pink highlighted button at the bottom right is available, it's going to say savings. It's going to basically save to the module or save to the app while you're using it, and that's going to save. It's going to be in conjunction every time you open up the app. It just automatically goes back to your latest setting, even when you close the game. So I'm very careful with how I do enter and exit this. I do it exactly the same way every time I enter and every time I exit. From here, I'm just going to click close. And then now if you see in the very center of the screen, there's a little pink or a little blue R, and that's where, and I need to adjust the transparency settings of these later, so that way it's fully transparent and that's not in the way of you actually seeing the whole gameplay in first person perspective. So I want realistic gameplay, that's what I'm going for. But right now I'm going to let that be, and it's a big freaking circle. So what that's going to do is going to allow me to utilize the third option on controls when you hit settings. Next thing, I need my, for some things, I think I might just go ahead and let them be the same. As in, like, I'm not going to move where my GameSir buttons are already, I could just put those back to where they are. But there's a few notes in the sense that I need to make sure I can see my crouch button, right? And that button right here, this one, I want it completely visible to me, and off to the side so I can see, or up to the right so I can see my position. So that way I'm like, okay, am I crouched or not? Because every time I noticed I jump through a window, I'm not crouched. I have to press that button to make sure I'm crouched. And if I want to make sure I'm always crouched because it reduces the auto aim or the aim assist for the other against the enemy players in every situation by 75%, and apparently it eliminates aim assist entirely when you go prone. Kicker, but I learned that. Let me share that. If you watch this, you hear that and you play, do that for yourself, test it for yourself. You're gonna see like, wow, I'm actually getting more kills and coming out of the battle on top because they're not getting me with that freaking aim assist. And you'll understand if you play this game. I hate that aim assist. It's like that's because that's not realistic. Spend as much time editing your freaking app and sensitivity settings, and then come at me. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, let me just go ahead and let that be. I need to put this shit back. My lean buttons, where are those at? Boom. This guy, come back down here, and then you're a fixed button, but where the left one, I can just literally put you back right there, and I could make him the same size. I'll put you back down here. Don't know what that is, but my left lean was my L3. Let me increase the size on that because I noticed that the button press will be always on there. Assuming I gotta do that right. Beautiful thing about PUBG with something like this, if those buttons are fixed in the Gamester app, look at where I need to put this thing. If I could just press this button and I don't want to, and I get frustrated because I might like use my finger and it it might like be off to the side where I don't want it, then I could just use that button right here in the menu, and it works perfectly fine. So I could just place it exactly where I need it. That right there is exactly where I need it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's beautiful. Beautiful. So let me do the same thing with this thing, increase the size of that, and these things I don't need to see. So I can reduce the transparency on those for sure with this, right? I hit that, transparency down, hit this, transparency down. Well, there. Perfect. Okay, so those are out of the way. Good. I save, and that's third person perspective, and what I like to do every time I save, hit first person perspective. Whoa, that's Team Deathmatch. Classic mode, first person perspective. Hit that classic in the middle of the menu right there. Classic. Copy the firing mode layout of classic third person perspective. This way, if you do the tendency of, and I never go in third person perspective, but to automatically have the same settings by just clicking into first person perspective mode, it's already set. But I'd like to have it on both TPP and FPP. Yes. So success, I save, and I come back. Or I can even just like switch from here because it's the same, so I could just operate from here and save and then hit TPP and then save FPP, and then it works. Watch, it's just quick. I did my lean buttons. My crouch button is X or B, which is A on the Gamesir X2. Where the fuck did that go? I don't know what to do with the prone button, so I just kind of like put anything I don't know what to do with in the middle. I'm on my prone button here. I know this is my backpack. Let me just do this quickly. Perfect. Transparency down. Okay, you're out of the way. Thank you. Save. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back. I'm not done yet, but I'll go ahead and copy the layout once I'm done doing more stuff. Revive is X for sure. That X button I need to put somewhere. Oh, it's right here. X would be revive, right? That's perfect. And then that obviously I can kind of like reduce to 50%. That's pretty decent. Save. Open. My X button is open to open doors and shit too. I think that's, yeah, it is X. I'll leave that bit transparency normal. Here's my crouch button. I need that a little bit bigger than 100%. Oh, transparency. Whoa, whoa. This thing. And that is my B button. My B button was way over here. Okay, there's something in the way. And I can't use this particular thing for when you're using an 8x scope because a little bit of a complication. I don't know why. But when I get to a laptop, my Predator Helios or Acer Predator Helios 300, I won't have to worry about the complications of not having sound in certain formats of when I'm using the video recording app in conjunction with the Gamesir X2 in use on PUBG Mobile. It'll be just a world of a difference in terms of what the kind of content that I'll be able to create and share. But for right now, I'm working with what I got. So here we go. But let me just go ahead and shrink that then, and because I'm cool with that, so I'll just move that out of the way or let that be right there. This drive is my Y button. I like that right there. That's fine. That these two buttons are in the middle. I'll leave them kind of separate. Here's my I button. That was a little bit bigger. And that was, I like that right here. But notice it might actually be in the way because here's what I would need to do. If I want my I button right here, I need to move this shit. So this X button, here's what I'm going to do that really quickly. And keep that right there. Hit that red button up top in the middle. Grab with your finger, grab and touch and hold, and put that right over where those buttons would be. And I'm going to modify that a little bit. But this one doesn't have the little arrow cursor, so you kind of have to do this manually. That's fine right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit advanced, save to accessory. See how it's overlaying the camera. And then configuration saved. Then I hit close. I'm back in the regular mode where I can just like adjust where I'm putting my buttons on the game. But right now, my X button is to open doors and press revive. So on this, let me just go ahead and do that. That's right dead center. Perfect. Let me see. Let me do that. I want that dead center perfect actually. And a little bit bigger, to be honest. Come on. Okay, perfect. Now the transparency on this can actually go down just a titch. Come on. There it goes. I gotta use that's okay. So I'm gonna bring that down, and then now I put my revive button right over that. So the overlapping allows me to use one button on this thing to do multiple functions in the game. And I don't like this carry button, but I'll just go ahead and use it anyways. Fuck it, just in case I need to move a character out of the way. That's for future use, but I don't even care about it, so I don't want to really use it. But just in case, just to be fun or to troll an enemy, maybe we'll see. Put him in a freaking thing, lock the door, and then throw a grenade in there. Right? That would be awesome if I could showcase that. So I'm gonna hit the GameSir button again to see the size of my left size button. You see that right there? I'm gonna go ahead and shrink that because of the fixed button thing. I don't necessarily need oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. I want to overlap right perfect. So I'm gonna just go ahead and like right there, and then I gotta pay attention where I could exactly put that. I think that's as good as I can possibly leave it. It's a little bit to the top, but hey, I'm gonna save that. Advanced, save. Perfect. Okay, and then wait for that to go away. Close. Great. Okay, so that my left toggle could now be used as long as I don't move that at all. And what I want to do too, okay, this right here, I gotta get rid of in a different way. So I have two of those, I think, and I don't want that. There's one, and here's the other one. I don't know which one's which. So I only need one of these, right? Because I'm not using my thumbs at all, so there's no need for two fire buttons. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit save, and just to copy format to the other side too. Classic, okay, save, exit. On basic, I think that's where the control is for that. Display left side fire button, the very first setting. Close that. That's an automatic save. Cool. Okay, go back into settings. Controls. I'm on this one, the third setting now. And now I noticed because I switched that thing off, The left one that was there is now gone. So I just need this one. So my R2 button is my fire button. It's also my drive button. It's right there. It's I see that. It's probably not in the best spot either. So I'm gonna go ahead and move that um, right here. And see, when I do this, I think I'm hoping this is recording. This is gonna get in the way of the recording button. Because as long as I'm in this mode, I can't touch that. But if I do this, if I press R2, it could accidentally press this button right here. Well, I'll move that right now. So let me see. Um, there's usually a lot of stuff going on right here, and I wanted to put this dead center so that way I can put things around it. So let me just go ahead and put this around to the right again, or to the left, right? Since this is fixed, this is already just going to be its own thing. But I got the entire screen to look, and all I got to do is worry about is that this is my thumb. So anything else, basically, it opens up all the space for everything else. But I'm going to start using the left-hand side, use the real estate on the left-hand side. I can't shrink that anymore, so I'm going to leave that there. So advanced, save, and that's where I want it. There's some open space. It's not touching anything. It's not in the way. Configuration, saved. Cool. Close. Okay, now if my fire button perfectly goes right here, I can kind of shrink that just to be a little bit more efficient. I'm going to use the in-game control button to kind of put it exactly where I want it, and that I think is the best spot possible. Yeah, right there, right there. That's best. It's the perfect size. And now because I know for a fact it's going to save in the game, and the Gamesir is going to save everything where it's at, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that. So that's not in the way at all. I can see through that perfectly fine. That button size is great. I'm going to hit save. Next thing, my crouch button right here. I think that's a good size. I want that visible though, and that even though I don't need it right there, I want that right there. So it's going to be in the way, but it'll tell me like, look, you need to crouch. And later I'll determine whether I need to put it on the side or something like that. But right there, I just want it in my face. So I'm going to hit save for that too. My zoom button is L2. My backpack, I need to redo my backpack. There it is. So that's a pretty decent spot, right? That center is where I really want it, and then I don't need to see it at all. So I'll just go ahead and eliminate that as well. Save, close. How I had my controls, this is where I need to bust out my notes. I have my left button to pull out my secondary button usually. So my secondary I think is like right here. Or this is my main. Okay, my main weapon is my left weapon. That would be my sniper. Right? If you want to have pretty good reaction skill, what you want to do is you want to have your weapon select in the same spot for this thing. So what I did is I increased the button size a little bit so that way I can put two things in one spot. Notice the L1 button that I got right there, and the left D-pad button is right here, so that way I can do this. I can increase the size of this right here, and it's out of the way of my movement button. And what I would have is I'd be able to use that left button right there to click the weapon, see what I got, have that right there, and then I'd use the L1 button to click where it says single to change my firing mode. And that's how I had this. But what I want to do differently is to be able to have not just two functions for the main and the secondary, but I want to be able to have on the grenade right here and the med kit right here in the center. These two things, they themselves have their own select buttons, right? So right here, these things, the ones just above each of the equip, the frag equip or whatever, equip frag, and then I want to call this my use med, because once I had this right here on the up, let me increase the size of that right there. I would have either my thumb to take off the joystick and then press that like I would press the D-pad, which is not a big deal. It's a really nice spot. Why? Because then I could just select what I would need right there on the side of the screen. and it's like out of the way of my little joystick right there on or the left toggle. So what I wanted to do was to have it just big enough so that way I could use the up button to take a soda or apply a bandage or apply a med kit or apply an adrenaline rush. But what I want to do also is not just be able to use that button, but have a totally separate button to press the select button right here. Just above each the select frag or the use med button, they have a select button there too. So I want to make that big enough to the point where I can have a dedicated created button to select the grenade, and then I know what button I need to press in order to throw that, which is R2. So I just want to be able to have a quick select, bring up the option, and then the only reason why I want to take my thumb off the thumbstick on either side is to be able to select what med I need or select which grenade I want. You know what I'm saying? So I could either do that on two sides right here and move the left thumbstick over some and then create, a whole different format, or and have that on two sides right there, or I could just use two sides and then do that. But I noticed that I was kind of running into an issue doing it on the right hand side, because I want my eyeball to be able to look left and right when I'm running automatically, and I'm gonna have a dedicated button to run automatically, so I don't have to worry about changing my GameSir left toggle, space button big enough so that way I could just hold up on the D-pad and it overlaps where the sprint button is right here, even though it's right next to it and down. I don't want to have to, you see some awesome videos on PUBG Mobile about people being able to move this up here, shrink the little sprint button and whatnot, and then put it dead in the center and shit, so that way you have some really awesome like sprint autumn running, like auto sprint running going on. Like, I think that's cool, but with this, you don't have to fucking worry about some shit like that, because if you could just create a button, like if I wanted to, you create a button by combining buttons. So you can do. There's so many buttons on here already. L1, R2, R1. There's L3 and R1. Like, you got clicks on the joysticks too, and those count as buttons. So if you combine any press, like the G button or the S button and then an L3, that will enable me to use the select button, and then all I got to do is just use my thumb to select what the fuck I want, assuming it's in my backpack or it's in my inventory. I select it right quick, I use it. Be extremely handy to do something like that when I have grenades or something like that. So I'm thinking maybe I should put my grenades and stuff to the left and then use the regular format that I have. But I'm gonna go ahead and like just make this quick, because damn, I'm already at 40. I'm already at 40 minutes almost. So let me be quick about this. What I had right here is before, so that's about the same. But if I want to change it, here's where I do the changes. Yeah, that was a lot of smack talking. I got that up, Y, and down because that's where the settings is gonna be. So there's gonna be like some really like awesome like tinkering right now. Where's my L2 button? My S button was to open this. That is kind of really hard to get to. Can you move? Thank you. Perfect. And alright, I can't use that. I gotta. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, my Y button also was to drive, to enter a vehicle, which I kind of want that to be S now because that was how I had it before. So I'm gonna leave that. Oh, but that's in the way of my grab button, my inventory, or when I kill someone. That is just a little bit bigger. I'm gonna reduce the transparency a bit, and then see what I'm saying. I could just do that. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Perfect. That's out of the way. That's already selected. Perfect. Now, here's my pistol. This I actually do want to have a little bit bigger, and then that creates a button for me to use and see, but that'll have to be, I'll have to create a button for that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I want to do that, but, and I can't leave that there because that's going to be in the way of my thing. So anything in the center of where my right thumbstick thing is going to be, I don't want anything in the center. So this is obviously got to change right here. I'll put that back over S. All right, sniper thing, that's already out of the way. That's good. Okay. Um, I don't know what I did with the X and the R. My health bar, I'm gonna leave that right where it's at. I even grab that. Yeah, the health bar has to be where it's at. X is also my reload button. My A is supposed to be to jump. Yeah. So I think this right here, this button right here is my jump button. Oh, that's in the way again, conveniently. Oh shit. This one. Okay. My A button is jump, and I don't need to see that at all, but I'll leave that there. My A button can be used for other things too, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to use that for right now. I'm just kind of like trying to make use of these things, and then I guess my cancel button can go right back over X since I'm always using that for X. But let me go ahead and put that over X, wherever the hell that is, right there. Thank you, camera, for making that just a little bit more visible. But oh, that's perfect. You know, oh here, one more, perfect right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and if I need to cancel, I can press X. So I'll just save that right now. This first person perspective button doesn't necessarily need to be so visible, but I do want to be able to press it. And I've been able to just go into first person perspective mode oh, by literally just clicking R1 and L1. So that's kind of like an easy thing for me to do. But if I wanted to change that, I could always just move that off and put something there differently. Like that's how the mapping concept of using the Gamesir X2 and mapping all this shit together in tandem with its own in-game customizable settings, dude. I mean, it's the ability to do that unlocks your ability. Like if you got good gaming controlling ability, like it's just that's what I'm talking about. So I'm glad I'm able to share this. And I think I'm going to be the first person that does it. So if I get any sort of like traction on YouTube, it's because of this particular video. Um, I'm hoping that's exactly how it works out. But my R1, my L2 button is my zoom. I don't know where the fuck my L2 button is. So I'm going to try and highlight it by just going ahead and clicking the GameSir thing. I look on the screen again. My L2 button is right here. It's next to the add button. Right, so advanced, save. I'm not sure if that's in the right spot, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. It's saving. I'm waiting for that thing to go off. Close. Back in here, perfect. Now here's my zoom. I don't need to see that at all, so I think that's a good enough size to never miss that button. But just to make sure it's just enough, big enough size, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that now too. So save. I'm still in the game. Perfect. Now I could just leave this here or here because this is already like I don't need to worry about nothing over there. But there's enough space over here to the left side too, where I just moved the camera or this little cam screen thing. But so far, this is like when they set up so that if you wanted to make like a basically like a Call of Duty, like Black Ops 2 old classic. I mean, this is what I play. I played zombies and stuff. I like the Xbox 360 controller. This pretty much like turns your phone into an Xbox 360 controller for Android games. And for something like this, you know what I'm saying? Like I was accidental. But for something like this, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, like this is like next level gaming for Android gaming. And if you're like at all like a serious gamer, like how I'm trying to be a serious gamer and stuff like that, like, I think I'm pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is I'm trying to damn, I'm really trying to get that centered. Sorry, bear with me. It matters, okay? So I think that's as perfect as I can get that left side. So let me never press that left toggle again. Plant my thumb right beneath it. That's a nice little spot to plant your thumb for this thing. So I'm gonna click save right now and save that right there again. Um, my backpack's taken care of. My fire's taken care of. My left button is ridiculously stupid. And what I want to do right now is just like make sure I have use of a select on the left hand side. So I don't have anything on the left hand side except for that game thing. Let me watch this. This right here is totally different, right? I just want to put it out of the way. Now it's out of the way. But what I'm talking about here is this button, my medkit button. On the left hand side, I have this. So what I can do is because it's literally out of the way of I could use my thumb for this. I could put this down. Okay. Put that down there. It's not bothering no one. Excuse me. If I leave my med right there, my up button is going to be what causes me to use a med. And that right here, this using the Gamesir X2 thing to press the up button always, right here, will make it in such a way where, and this matters too, you have to do this one. Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. For the Gamesir X2 to be able to move that in a different spot instead of having to use the in-game like control mode thing, that's awesome. So advanced, save, it's saving its thing, it's doing its thing. Configuration saved. Close that. Now it's like perfect in spot. So my up button will be what I use to use up. But so I had a question when I was looking at my fourth game is like what if I wanted to be able to have a different button to be able to use to select what med I have, like pre-select by bringing up that little mini menu. And that's what I have a problem with right now. So my problem is I want to press if I press up to use a med, I want to press up and use a different button like up and X to be able to bring up that menu. So I'm going to create that button right now and get rid of this one. So you press the Gamesir X2 and my up Y is my backpack. But this button right here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, so I'm going to get rid of it by just pressing the delete button on it. And I'm going to add a button. But in this one, you got two options. You got one button, which is the question mark, or the combination button, which is what I'm going to use right now. Uh-oh, that is not what I wanted to do, but I'll put that center, because that's okay. I could always move that in the center later. This, you click the two question marks, and that's now a combo button. And what you got to do in order to make that useful is put that right over there, and I want up and X. Up and X. Okay? In this, because I'm usually not opening up a door at the same time that I do this, it shouldn't bother whether or not anything. The only thing that might affect is whether or not I press up again to, unless I switch the buttons that I use to do what I'm doing right now. But I want to be able to do this. So I just made a button. I pressed up and X at the same time to be able to bust out that menu. You see how that works out right there? So if I put this just a little higher, it should make it in such a way where I usually always just press the menu button. It might accidentally, if it goes low enough, it might accidentally just press the drink button or use med button, but I'm not really worried about that. So that's taken care of, and my left move button is so perfect, I don't even want to fucking touch it. And that med button right there is so perfect, I don't even want to touch it again. So I'm going to go ahead and click this very pink button and then hit advanced again. Always do this. Hit advanced again. Save to accessories. It's like the best way to always like do it and just make your progress. You sometimes have to reset all this, which isn't pretty dumb. But if you always enter and exit the same way, you shouldn't really have to run into that problem. Only occasionally. It only happened to me one time so far. So it's done. I'm gonna click close. That's made. So now my use med and my med select is now created. Now what about my frags and stuff? You know what I'm saying? So if I wanted to do the same thing for a frag, wherever that is, it's right here. I can't do anything in the middle right here, so nothing in the middle. I would have to bring it over here because there's nothing over here. So let me put this up. I have to do that differently. Exit is same button. I'm gonna go ahead and move that. I can see that perfectly. Perfect. Now you're out of the way. You're done. Save. Good. Thank you. You know, this is a totally different weapon. This is my secondary. My other one is since I usually use left and right for my weapons and whatnot, I'll leave those essentially the same. So I'll get rid of this and move that differently. I'll have to move the R1 and L1 button somewhere different. So like right here. That's a pretty enough big enough size. That's way too big actually. That's perfect. Close. I'm gonna move this like basically right here in the center. That's not bothering no one. Then I'm gonna pull out the Gamesir, move my R1 L1 to just simply move into first person perspective, and that's how I've been able to do that really easily and quickly. So there's that. Advanced save. Every time you move the Gamesir X2 button, I would definitely recommend you save. That's just gonna help out a lot. All right, config save, close. Okay, and that's already taken care of. Now I just want to go ahead and get rid of the transparency, so it's eliminating that. So save. Don't exit just yet. Um, then over here, I want to create these things big enough so that way I can use two buttons like that. This was kind of like annoying because it's like in the way, not exactly in the way, but it's like, what the fuck, you know? And I had to make these big enough because I noticed that in order to be able to select the fire on these things, you would have to you'd have to make sure that your single burst and auto select button is big enough to the point where it will not miss. It won't select the weapon or like miss that toggle. So that's why I had to make these kind of big. And that's the beautiful thing about the adjustable size button on these things, because then you could really never miss that. Now I just reduce the transparency some to increase my visibility, and that's beautiful. Now I hit save, but I'm gonna, while this is open, watch, move that back dead center, basically, or to the right there. It's out of the way. I'm gonna click this little guy right here, and when I press down, it's just gonna go ahead and select when I have my secondary on or equipped. It's just gonna, if I can, like submachine gun or assault rifle, single, auto, or burst. You know what I'm saying? That's important because it's in the game in terms of strategy. It's all situational. Okay, advanced, save, and you'll see my gameplay when I do this. Watch, it's just when I make the 5th or 10th video, you'll see what the hell I'm saying. What time is it? I've been going for about 50 minutes now. I'm gonna let this one go. It's almost like a mini stream, but this is gonna be awesome. To be honest, it's gonna be dope. I want to make use of that as best as possible, so that's good right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, save. Always save. I just did that. So watch this. Classic mode, save. Perfect. And then I embedded it to both first person perspective and third person perspective. And so far, I mean, I could start playing like this, but you know, I need to figure out that grenade right there. So I can't do anything in the middle again, and I want to make sure I got the right bottom right hand corner for my eyeball, and that's a perfect size for that thing. Visibility of it, let me go ahead and reduce that a titch. Okay, that's fine and dandy right there. I want that so that way I can bring it to the edge of the screen and look fully right and fully left. Side scope, I had a whole separate button for something like that, and that was I have to create a button for that. You know what I'm saying? Because this right here, if you have a canted, oh, but that's when I'm playing Metro Royale, so I won't worry about that right now. I'm not playing Metro Royale right now. I'll just go ahead and move that to the side, but make it visible so I could deal with that later. So I'll save. Cool. My grab button, perfect size. That's fine and dandy. Cool. What is this? Stand button. It's unnecessary. This run but oh, the auto sprint button. I'm gonna need that. This I want to create an entirely brand new button for. So right here, and then I could just put this one to the side, and oh, I like that right there. So now for me to create a button for that, what would I use? I think in order to auto sprint, I'll just go ahead and use R2 and L2. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the Gamesir module thing, click the add button, and then it might click my right thumbstick again because it's a dumbass. I figured, okay, that's fine. Okay, what buttons? I said R2 and L2. Okay, now the button is making. It's been made, and I'm going to go ahead and press that right on there. Perfect. All right, great. Now I'm gonna put you back about dead center. Okay, and then oh shit, now click this, advanced, save, and you could like upload this thing apparently, but I'm not sure because this is a Canadian product or something like that, or some other kind of like country product, and I can't make an account to upload this to like a cloud setting. But I want to at least feature this on YouTube. So if you guys ever get the Gamesir X2 yourself and have a phone, I mean, you don't have to have a phone just as good as this, but I mean, I would recommend you do because I mean, to get this kind of gameplay or to get like at least console like gameplay with the settings that I'm sharing, you would at least need the OnePlus Nord N10, and $300 is like one or two paychecks for most people. So this is reasonable if you like PUBG, if you want to get into action, you like the whole battle royale thing, want to do this yourself. I'm trying to be a pioneer and share it. So I already saved, I think, close. That's great. I need to compensate for. I'm not going to worry about my pistol thing. That's fine where this is. That's usually out of the way, anyways. Uh, R1 is what? Different button. Scope. So I'm not using R1 right now. I could use R1 to be my equip grenade. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring that down. I don't want it on the left hand side, and I can move that out of the way. Yeah. So what happens when I push this over here? Say follow? No. I'm gonna put that right there. That's out of the way. I could probably shrink that some. Yes, I can. Perfect. But let's be fair and share with people too. So hopefully that grabs. Boom. Now this opens up some real estate. Our screen is real estate. Say up that. I want my fire button nice and out of the way. Okay. And in conjunction with R2, I put that right here. Dead center. Thank you. Save. Every time you move the Gamesir X2 one, save it. So that way it maps it and it's exactly where you want it. And every time you press that button on the controller in game, you hit exactly what you want, you assigned it to. Close. So I like how much customization that you can make with this because every time I click L3 and R3, I lean, I click my B, I'm going to crouch and I'm going to know if I'm crouching or not. And I can move that on the screen wherever I want it, so it's out of the way. But right now, I think I'm doing pretty damn good. So, like, watch. This thing is my message board, and I got my custom messages already selected. So I'll just go ahead and put that right there. The size of this thing is ridiculously big, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. I usually use my thumb for this. Save, move that out the way again, and then I'm gonna move that like I like to keep it right here because it's like not in the way of anything. Boom. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good right there. Nice spot. All right, good spot. R1, I'm still not using for anything. Oh, I'm gonna use it for my grenade. Okay, that's why I moved R2 out of the way so that way I can put this here. Now, with that being there, I increase the size of that so that, oh shit. All I gotta do is use my thumb and move it actually to the screen to select something, or I click it with my other finger. It's a quick select. It's a pre-program. I should have a couple seconds if a motherfucker's trying to rush me, or if I want to rush someone, I get behind someone, I take a quick second, press that grenade select button that I'm about to make, and then boom, select that thing, and then all I gotta do is R2, throw, because you equip, that's what you do to throw. So here, let me reduce the size of that a little bit, and notice that I have to like, there's this. If I put that here, that shouldn't be an issue. There are if I use that, see how up top, I could press R3 and close the damn thing too. So I'll probably just increase the size a little bit. Yeah, yeah, look at that. Dope. Okay, so now I need to move my crouch button, right? But that is, I think, a perfect size for the grenade button also. And then it's not like out of the way. Let me go ahead and reduce the visibility of that damn thing. So it's perfect. That's perfect for me. Now I need to put R1 right there. I'm going to click save, bring that menu back down, and then R1, bring that menu over, and then hit this, and then what? Like that. Thank you. Advanced, save, close. And so far, that is like the best like setup that I could actually use. And then like moving things around and being able to create buttons. But here's one thing that I need to do right now too. I need to create a button to select that damn thing. Oh, was that my issue before? It's a little bit smaller than the medkit button. And like I said, I need to make that big enough in order for another button to be used. Ah, if I make it big enough. You know what I'm saying? If I bring that big thing over here, I'd have to put that here. Why is that such an issue? It's not an issue. I would just have to put this here and then remove the left toggle button because you can put it anywhere on the screen because that's a fixed button. That's why you do control 3. It actually works better than control 1 with this thing because now I could just move that anywhere. Watch. I was so like it matters, but it really doesn't matter right now. But this matters right here. Being able to select your shit. I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see these things in real life. That's why I kind of like want visibility more for you guys. But I think that's pretty decent. Let me just OCD it a little bit. Okay, my R3 L3 button. Let me just move that down and watch, because then I could just do this. Because my L3 button can close that now. You see what I'm saying? I'll never have that much shit. But at least if I want to, if I ever do, then I have an L3 button to close my menu. Hopefully that's how it works. Advanced. Wait. Uh, let me go back. Right here. This thing, I moved it right here. And that's okay. That will work. R1, where art thou? To select my grenade. I deleted that button. No, I didn't. It's right there. Boom. And L3 has been moved. I just got to move my crouch lean to the left a little bit. So right there, I think that's pretty damn good. I'm gonna hit save. Didn't realize that this one process by itself is gonna take so long. All right. I apologize for it being so long, but I literally wanted to be able to record this and share it and hope that my voice is being recorded. Close. And then when I play my next gameplay, you'll see like, damn, okay. That thing really does make a big difference. So I don't really care about that sprint button being in the way of the crouch button. That never it'll show, but it's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna matter. Let me if I click that, that's out of the way. Okay, save. Okay, so and then I need to create a button for my frags right there. See if I create a button for my if I press R1 to equip, and well, I want to be able to use R1 and something else. Looks like it's gonna be up. No, up. I'd say R1 and down maybe, because down I don't use for nothing except for whether or not I have a secondary equipped, and it will be the gun mode, the fire mode. So I'm gonna put down and R1. That'll be my select button for my frags. Let's create that. So I don't accidentally move it. Whoops, add button. See, it's just one press, but you gotta. I'm new to this too, so I just took a moment to make sure I did it right. Take your time, right, when you do this stuff because of how much editing power you have. It's just awesome. Let me close that. Now I moved my created button down right on top of that. And what I'm assuming is that it's going to every time I press R1 down, it's gonna just open up my frag select. Which do you want to smoke? Do you want to frag? Do and then they're right next to each other. So all I got to do is take my left thumb off and then just like move over really quick and select that. Or if I want, just use my other finger and just quickly select. And then that's just the nature of this entire setup. The customization is just beyond anything I've ever seen, and I think it's just such a wonderful thing to be able to do because what you're really seeing is complete customization to your liking. When you if and when you get your own Gamesir X2, and if and when you apply it to a game like PUBG Mobile, and you do this for something like yourself, it doesn't matter how much time it takes for you to set this shit up, because what you're really after, if you were like me, is the performance, the reaction time. You know what I'm saying? How quickly can you take down an enemy, and how efficiently can you move around an active battlefield? You know, using a phone. That's just wild. The only other experience that you would ever get like this is when you play on a fucking system. So or a laptop, or a PC. But I mean, if you don't got that, like I don't got that right now, then this is what you do. You work with what you got. So, and this is to me, I think, really fucking fun, even though it's lesser than what I would like or less than what I'm used to, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So let me go ahead and increase the size of that too. I like to know switch scopes. Yeah. So, and then the transparency can go a little lower on that. That's fine. All right, and then I think this button might be in the way a bit, but that's good right there. The like button right up here with anything else. I don't really care about all that. Okay, and then I think that's about good. The prone button I didn't do anything with, so let me just go ahead and reduce your visibility, and I'll leave you in the corner. I never really use this, but I mean, shit, I might want to. Because I noticed that if I always go prone, then I won't really ever have to worry about, someone fucking trying to get me or anything like that. So if I think about it, I just want it to be being down, if anything. So be down actually might be best. go prone, it'll just like or I just hold B and always go prone anyway. So I don't really have to worry about that because the in-game setting for you to just press and hold B to do that will make, it just eliminates you to have to really use this prone button. But I'll just leave it there. Fuck it, that's fine. It's not in the way. It's not doing anything. I'm not worried about it. I think everything else I think is just about in place. So I'm about ready to move on to the next video and show you guys what the hell I did in my 5th attempt video. So save, click third person perspective, hit FPP, copy that, yes, and then save. Okay, it's completely ready and mapped out. Everything is accounted for. And if I find something on the fly, just like with the Strike Pack FPS Dominator for your Xbox 360 controller or PlayStation 4 controller, you can use this. You could do anything on the fucking fly. So that's just such a beautiful thing, man. It's just all of this, the abilities and whatnot. It's awesome. And I do have my down Y button because that is my close button for my menu for at least when I open up the backpack. I think that's what that is. Up and Y is open backpack, down is Y is closed backpack. That's why I have that right there upright. Other than that, the only other thing that I would like to do now, since that's basically already done, is to be able to reduce the transparency of the Gamester X2 buttons themselves. So I hit advanced, get general settings, and right there it's default 21%. I'm hoping that if I bring this down to like 10%, that's good. I click that. It reduces the visibility of all those buttons really, and I click save right now. Since I already really know what I'm doing. That's good. Close, and hopefully that reduces the visibility of those things a little bit. It really did. So that it wasn't a whole lot, but it did enough to the point where I'm content with that, and it shouldn't be too bad for you guys. So now we could just exit. Right, I'm on left movement 3, and in my sensitivity settings, if you want to see what they are now, it's all customized, right? Look at the top middle, it says customize camera. You also want to be able to use the ADS, keep the separate settings open right there. And here is my settings. Third person no scope, I left it default 100. First person no scope 219. This is what really matters. I haven't done anything with FPP aim because I realized by tinkering and training and looking at some other videos about what I need to do, what really matters is the red dot holographic aim assist. This is for the camera sensitivity portion, and they approximately the same. Leave it, for the 8 ADS, which is aim down sight sensitivity when you're firing the red dot holographic aim assist, because you don't really in this, what I'm doing is I'm not using my gun to aim. I'm using the camera to aim and look around. And in the first person no scope, why it's so high is because in real life I can look around really quickly. So 219 is pretty fast, but I'm still kind of slow. That's not the fastest, obviously, because I still have like 80% to go, but I'm not going to go there. I'm trying to slow down to speed up, and by working with my most recent sensitivity settings, this is what's going to enable me to showcase me live getting the Weapon Master, and I'll narrate it whether or not I use Bluetooth headphones or not. It's going to feature, and you're going to see. So, here's my camera sensitivity settings. Just pause it. Just press pause and then you'll see. And then here's these ones down here. Okay. And then I think I messed up on the third person camera, the character vehicle, because I noticed in parentheses it says vehicle. Now, if I'm in the vehicle again, and I don't want to show this right now, but if I get in a vehicle and I'm not looking around fast, I'll probably do a quick setting and increase that to like 163 or 193 or something around that ballpark, because I think that's exactly where it was last. Past that, that's already done. So I don't have to press upload. I'm done. But this is the end of this particular video because I just wanted to show you guys how I would use the Gamester X2 app to create a modified map that is perfectly in conjunction with the customizable settings that you can do for yourself in the PUBG mobile game. So I've never seen anyone do that, and I could also, tell you that the difference between first person no scope and the red dot holographic and aim assist, tinker with those two settings when you're looking around and really like holding your gun. You're aiming down sight. Tinker with those things and get the feel for it, especially if you're using a thing like this, because that's what's gonna be able to determine. Okay, do I really need to have a fast fucking like look around all the time, or can I just look around fast and then when I see my target, bring up my gun in just a nice natural way? That what I'm trying to share is like this. That's realistic. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that now that I'm done with this, you guys can look at this. I hope you guys got value, and I'm hoping, just hoping that I did external microphone audio on the thing, because that's one thing I didn't check before I started this video. Hopefully you heard everything while I was doing all that customizing. But if not, I'll have to make another whole separate video, just smaller this time. But at least in this one, you saw exactly what I needed to do to get to my 5th attempt video. So thank you for watching. This is Christmas out. All right, let's play some PUBG Mobile.